This
So, a
conference
very
will
good
now be this conference will now be recorded.
a very good evening to one and all. Ayurveda Map under Relax Kerala welcome each and every one of you to a new venture of ours. That is, we are launching our online academic sessions. Ayurveda Kerala under Relax Kerala has been supporting academically all the practitioners all over India, both clinically as well as academically through a lot of webinar series as well as practical sessions. And right from 2016 onwards, we are into this platform. And now we are stepping on to a step further into a new venture, like to support the UGs and PGs regarding their academic theory portions too. So with this venture, we are actually aiming to give you a broader perspective of the subject. That is, we are intending regarding that you should be proficient in the concerned subject. That if someone asks you something, that is, for example, in a Viva, if someone asks you a question quite deeply, so you should be able to know how to answer that. So in that way, you for that point you have to be very well proficient in the subject. So with these classes, we are aiming to make you like mold you into a better academician regarding the concerned classes. And via our notes, that is, we'll be supplying you notes also as per the syllabus. So via those academic notes, we are aiming to mold you to appear for better for your exams also. So we have two broad perspectives in our hands. So this is an introductory class, so that you could know how we are like planning to have our further classes. Today we are starting with Shalakya, and all Saturdays we'll be having Shalakya only, and we are planning for around 25 classes for each subject. And for other subjects, it will be starting very soon, and we'll let you know about the schedules and agendas and propagandas of all these things. Today we have our introductory class in Shalakya, and it will be taken by Dr. Sridevi, Assistant Professor, Ashtanga Ayurveda Chikilsala and Vidyapeeth. So we'll move on to the class now. And in the further classes, we'll be dealing it as per the syllabus. The classes will be as per the syllabus, and we are mainly aiming on the PG first year, as well as UG students can also utilize these classes, because it will be of great help for you when it comes to the exam point of view. So UG people who have the concerned subject exams can also utilize the class, and the classes will be mostly focused on PG syllabus. We will be moving on from the next week onwards. We will be into the syllabus. Today it is just an introductory class, and we will start this session. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Shall I start now?
Yes, doctor, you can start.
Okay. So, first of all, thanking the organizers for giving an opportunity. And I hope, as Dr. mentioned, we are having PGs as well as UGs in this session. So, Swasthavritta again is a syllabus point for both of them. So, without losing time, starting. As everybody know, Shalakya Tantra is one among the 8 branches of Ayurveda, which deals with mainly diseases, treating the diseases pertaining to the eyes, ear, nose, throat, and head, both Shira and Kapala Rogas, as well as measures to be taken for its swasthya avastha of these organs. So, why Shalakya Tantra is pradhana is itself given in the shloka, that is, it involves the swasthya of organs, which include the Panja Pradhana Indriyas. As we know, the Panja Indriya Adhishtana includes Akshi, Karnau, Nasika, Jihva, Tvak, Chedi. So among these, Akshi, Karna, Nasika, and Jihva coming under this branch. And also, we know, as the quote says, Atma Indriya Manoarthanam Sannikarshat Pravartade Vyakta Tadatviya Biddhi Pratyaksha Saniruchyade. So, all these Indriyas or Jnani Indriyas are the important source for a Pratyaksha Pramana, or they help to perceive knowledge from outside world, which is later processed by our mind for Jnana. And also, among these, Netra as well as Jihva is the site for Ashtasthana Pariksha. Not only that, we know our all these structures are always exposed to the external environment. Of course, nowadays we are masking our nose and mukha still, due to which all these organs have to bear all the insults from air, water, light, food, etc. So hence, protection of these organs is very important. When we go through even when we go through the nidanas, specific nidanas of these sense organs itself, there also we can see a common nidana point, that is Rajodhuma Adava Nishevana. So anyway, we cannot stay back away from these nidanas. Hence, measures to be taken for swasthya maintenance of these organs. So that is the importance of this topic. So what is swasthya? Let us start with the definition for swastha or swasthya. As we know, according to WHO, the definition of health starts with, it is not merely the absence of a disease. So again, in our Shastra also, the quote says, Samadosha Samagnisha Samadhadu Malakriya Prasanna Atma Prasanna Indriya Prasanna Mana Swastha Ityabhidiyate. So a person who is having Samadosha Avastha, all the Tridosha properly functioning in equilibrium state, Sama Agni, Chadra Agni, not in Mandavastha, Tikshnavastha or Vishamavastha, Samadhadu, Saptadhadus in equilibrium state properly functioning without Vriddhi or Kshaya, and proper Mala Pravritti, along with good Indriya, good Atma, and good Mana is Swastha. And we know, as the quote in Ashtanga Hridaya, Dosha Dhadu Mulam hi Dehasya. Body is mainly formed of Dosha Dhadu and Mala. So again, for a Swasthya, all these should be in equilibrium. From this itself, we can understand that even though we never see any symptoms of disease, we cannot tell it as Swastha. Similarly, is the condition of asymptomatic case of COVID-19. So, as per our Shastra says, Chikitsas divide mainly into two, or the aim of Ayurveda is divided mainly into two. That is, Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshana as well as Adurasya Vigara Prashamana. So, in this topic, actually in syllabus points, Swastha Vritta as well as Padhyabhati is given as consecutive points, but still both are combined or clubbed together in this presentation, because without the explanation of Padhyabhati, we can explain Swastha Vritta. So here I will be presenting in 4 headings, that is initially Padya Viharas and Abadhya Viharas, followed by Padya Ahara and Abadhya Vihara pertaining to the sense organs. And again, one point to remember is that there is no Swastha, routine activities for Swastha Vritta pertaining to Shalakya Tantra or sense organs alone, because whole body swasthya is needed for a swasthya of the sense organs also. So I will be explaining different references from different sthanas of the Samhitas to explain the point. So I will be dealing with certain points from Dinacharya, which gives certain routine activities which have direct references to Indriya Dridata, followed by Ridhucharya, Sadvritta, and again Padya Ahara Viharas, which is mentioned in the context of each rogas, Mukha Roga, Shiro Roga, etc. Okay, so let us start with Padya Viharas. So first, for a swasthyam, for a normal person, what can all be done will be explained here, followed by what can all be done in case of a Rogavastha. Hope everyone understood. So these are the few references from Dinacharya where we get points connected to the health of the sense organs. Okay, so to start with Danda Dhavana. Danda Dhavana is none other than brushing your teeth. So here, the point is that when we go through the Dinacharya Adhyaya of Ashtanga Hridayam, 2nd chapter, there it is told as Arkan Yagrodha Hadira Karanja Kakubhadija Pradar Bhuktva Chamridvagram Kashaya Kadu Tiktadam Kanidyagra Samasthavilyam Pragunam Dwadashankulam. As the quote says, they are mentioning the drugs which is to be used for Danda Dhavana, apart from the normally we use the toothbrush. There, the special mentioning is the special rasas which is required for Danda Dhavana. It is told as Kashaya, Kadu Tikta Rasa Pradhana Dravyas is to be used. So why? Because when we go through Rasabedi Adhyayam of Ashtanga Hridaya, 10th chapter, the gunas of each rasa is mentioned, where Tikta Rasa Vishadayati Asyam, Kleda Shoshanam, Pitta Kabaharam, whereas Kadu Rasam stimulates Jihva Agram, it helps in Kleda Obashoshanam and opens the Shrodasis, and Levana Rasam Syandhyadi Asyam. That is, all these rasas help to cleanse our mukha or inside our mukha. Because after a long duration of sleep, all our Shrodasis, especially in Shirobhaga, will be undergoing Rodha, or Shrodha Rodha will be present. As a result, there will be Ubadeha of our Jihva, there will be Netramala. Some people may feel even stickiness of eyes and all. Some people may have small nasal blockage in certain climate, etc. So these all are due to the Shrodha Rodha present after long nap and the Kabhadiki of the morning hours. So there, for an Indriya Lakhuda, the dravyas with these rasas, if used for cleansing of our danta, it helps for Indriya Lakhuda. That is what is mentioned as Danta Dhavanam Indriya Lakhuda. In olden days, I mean, not on olden days, our grandparents even used burnt charcoal and all. It all has some pradisarana effect, which remove these excess kleda, which will be present during the morning hours. So, next it is Akshi Sejana. Akshi Sanjana means just washing your eyes. We can do it with normal water, normal temperature water, or even in cold climate, we may use slight hot water. Now, here what the difference is that even though in Swastha itself, even though we don't have any eye disease, but still, for some people, in normal itself, they will have stickiness in their eyes, or some discharge is more usually present. Netramala will be more. For such persons, if they have any stickiness, usually in OP and all, some age above 50, above women and all, when they come, they usually tell always they were having discharge and all in our eyes, in their eyes. Normally itself, they won't be associated with any other pathology also. Here we have to understand that maybe due to the Kabha Adhikyam in their Shirobhaga. In such cases and all, even they may use Tribhala Kashaya for Shalana also. Then the next Dinacharya, which we can see is Kavala Gandusham. Asanjaryo Mukhe Purne Gandusham Kavalo Anyada. That is holding the liquid in the mouth. Without any movement, it is called Gandusham. With movement, it is called Kavala. So in Ashtanga Hridaya itself, Sutrasthanin, Gandushadi Vidyadhyaya, there are a lot of references given. In Nitya Ubyoga, we can use Smams or any Taila, Tira Taila like drugs. Or even in Gandusha itself, they have mentioned certain drugs specified to certain difficulty. For example, if a person is having Danda Harsha, like a tingling sensation, there we can use the crushed tila boiled in water. That water we can use for Gandusha. And if it is, we have more Pitta Pragati, we may use even Dhrida for Gandusham. So such various varieties of liquid can be used for Gandusham, and a lot of references are there in the Samhitas also. Now, when we assess this Gandusham, Danda Dhavana, Akshi Sejana and all these especially help in Indriya Lakhuda itself, or to keep all these things swastha. And we know when we divide our body, our shiras is considered to be Kabha Pradhana Sthana. As a result, all our Indriyas should be protected from attack of excessive kapha. To quote an example, in case of Netra, when we study the diseases pertaining to Netra, there is a disease called Abhishyandam, which is coming under Sarvakshigata Roga, Abhishyandam, wherein the major feature or major lakshana is excessive discharge from eyes. And of course, it will be associated with Shiro Abhishyandam. That is, there may be small srava in Karna or maybe associated srava from Nasa and all. So in such situations, if we are prone to have such situations, we can consider to use this Kavala and Gandusha. Also in our regular OP, usually this Gandusham and Kavalam, even though it is very simple procedure, it usually gives us added effect. For example, in cases of Karnasrava, infective conditions like Karnasrava, pus discharge from the ear and all, we do labor around the ear, internal medications, Dhubana, Dibana Pajana medications will be given. Along with that, we usually give Gandusha also with drugs, either with Tribala Kashaya or Tribala Panchakola. Even we use Amradotara Churna, Kashaya Churna for Gandusha, which obviously it helped to reduce the kleda in the Shira Pradesh as well as Karna. Gives an added effect usually in our experience. And apart from this, from the reference in Ashtanga Hridaya itself, regarding the Phalashruti of Kavala or Gandusha, it is given as Manya, Shira, Karna, Mukha, Akshiroga, Prasega, Kandhamaya, Vaktra Shosham, Prallasa, Tandra, Aruji, Pina, Sashcha, Sadhyad, Visheshat, Kavala Grahe. So, it protects from Manya Roga, Shiro Roga, Karna Roga, Mukha Roga, Akshiroga. All the sense, all these organs we can get, means the Kleda Harana is possible with the help of Gandusha in all these conditions. Okay. So the next point which we get from Dinacharya is using of Pradimarshanasya. As you know, Pradimarshanasya is instilling 2 to 3 or maximum 4 drops of the medicated oil or ghrida into our nostrils. As we know, Nasyam is major Shodhana procedure and we cannot do it by ourselves without any guidance. But Pradimarsham, Nasyam, of course, with the guidance itself is possible to be added to our daily routine activity. And no age bar limit is there for Pradimarsha Nasyam, as we see in Marsha Nasyam. And also, Nityobasaya of Pradimarsham gives the similar effect of the use of Nasyam. That is told in Phalashruti also. So, mostly Anutaila is, Tilataila is recommended as for Nityabhyasa, but still, according to our Prakriti, we can change. If we have Vada Pitta Prakriti, even use Kshira Bala, we can use Hanmandra. According to Prakriti or according to the Sharira Bala Avastha, we may decide which drops to be used as Pradimarshanasya. And again, action even is similar that of Nasyam only. Nasayam Praniyamanam Aushadam Nasyam, and usually indicated in Urdhva Jatro Vikaras. And when we come to the Phalashruti of Pradimarshanasya, I mean Nasya itself, it is given as Khano Unnada Prasannatvakas Kanda Grivasya Vakshasa Dridendriyaha Tu Apalida Bhaveyur Nasya Shilinaha. So Dridendriyada is one among the Phalashruti, main indication he who takes Nasya as Sheela. And another clinical perspective which we can use Pradimarsha Nasyam is certain diseases where we have a recurrent swabhava or nature. Say, for example, in conditions like allergic rhinitis or in conditions like allergic conjunctivitis, everybody of us know that it is not possible to completely cure this condition. If it is in initial stages, of course, it may resolve, but otherwise it's a chronic condition. And of course, it recurs when we become less immune or we will get exposed to the nidana karanas of these diseases. So in such conditions also, after treating the acute stage which I meant is that in allergic conjunctivitis, if we consider the acute stage, it is redness of eyes, severe itching, severe watering, photophobia, or else in case of allergic rhinitis, at the stage, if he is having severe sneezing, nasasrava and all, at that time, we may not be able to use Pradimarsham. But after we treat the acute stage, later we can prescribe this Pradimarsha Nasya for them, which will surely reduce the intensity or reduce the frequency of recurrence, which I actually, my study was related with allergic conjunctivitis while doing my PG, wherein along with the Ashodhana, I also used Anutailam Pradimarshan Nasim. We prepared in our college and used Anutailam Nasim actually, Pradimarshan. And of course, I had experience of the intensity was reduced on allergic conjunctivitis, as well as the frequency of recurrence was reduced. Even though a complete resolve I could see only for 6 months, 61 months. Okay, so that is the use of Pradimarsha Nasya. The next one is Anjana Prayoga. So everybody know Anjanam is the using collyrium in our eyes. So in Ashtanga Hridaya, it is mentioned that Savira Manjanam Nityam Hidamakshnos Tadopajit. A daily use of Savira Manjanam can be done. Savira Manjanam, usually Savira Manjanam, it is considered as antimony sulfide. And usually Shodhanam is done with Bhringaraja Rasa. And the powder is mixed with air and the thyroid can be used. In our in here and all, we usually see the practice of using this Sahadevi Swarasa is taken, and we dip a cloth in it, and we make into arti, and after drying it, we we keep it in a lamp, and we collect this soot coming from it, the mushy coming from it, and we use in the as anjanam in our eyes for daily purpose. And also there is a use mentioning the use of Rasanjana Prayoga, which is to be done once in a week. So here, why we should make Anjanam a Dinacharya is because Chakshus Tejomayam Tasya Visheshada Shleshmado Bhaya. So as I mentioned earlier, Jatrurdha Bhaga Kapha Pradhana Avaya, Kapha Pradhana Sthana. And the Netra is a Pitta Pradhana Avayava in that sthana. Drishti is Pitta Pradhana Avayava present in the Kapha sthana. As a result, the Pitta Pradhana Avayava will always have a chance to get attacked by the excessive Kapha. That is what I mentioned earlier, which result in disease condition like Abhishyanta. Similar is the case of all other sense organs also, nose, Shravana or Karna and all. We will later explain that. So here, Rasanjana Prayogam is used at least once in a week to protect the netra from excess kapha, attack of excess kapha. So Rasanjana is usually prepared here with Daru Haridra Kwatha mixed with Ajadukta and made into a Rasakriya form. And usually when somebody had done a study with Rasanjana, teenagers actually, not those are having refractive errors, but still with perimetric study and all, the visual sensitivity was found to be increased. Especially now in this stage where we are having work at home or classes, online classes and all, I think this Anjanam and all, proper usage of Anjanam will definitely help to maintain our visual stability or ocular surface stability or immunity. So next one mentioning is about Dhumapana. I have taken most of the references from Ashtanga Hridaya, and Jatru Urdhva Kaphavadota Vigaranam Ajanmani Uchedaya Jadanam Pibe Dhumam Sadatma is mentioned. So Dhumapanam, it is mentioned Jatru Urdhva Kaphavada Vigara alone, but not in Pitta Vigara. You may be knowing Dhumapana is the procedure where we make a varti. Usually we make it with mixing with Haridra and Thrida. We make into varti, dry it, and we use the fumes coming from that varti to exhale, to inhale through our nose, exhale through our mouth and all. But still, as this Dhumapana is not possible to be done in daily routine, we can do in the form of steam inhalation even, which will again help to protect our sense organs. And usually steam inhalation for Swastha, we usually tell to have steam with the boiled water, which is boiled with Haridra, Tulasi, like that. Then another reference I have seen for the sense organ is Mukha Aleva. Mukha Alevana Shilanam Dridam Bhavadi Chakshusha, Dridam Bhavadi Darshana. As such, we are not using procedure, but still I think in certain rogas, which is Yapya, we may utilize the use of Mukhaleba also. And of course, leba itself, usually we use the form of Bidalaga in Netra Rogas, we use it in the form of Bidalaga, that is leba pertaining around the eyelids, keeping our eyelids closed. In case of Shirashula, Kabaja Shirashula, or like we have pain in the sinus areas and all, we do lebana around that area, Satrasnadi Churnam as such. So such lebas also may help. Another reference we have is about Abhyangam. Abhyangam Ajarid Nityam Sajarashrama Vadaha Drishti Prasada. So Abhyangam help to have Drishti Prasada. And actually it is told that we should do Abhyangam daily because our Twak is Vada Pradhana Avayava. So to keep it strong, keep it stable, Abhyangam is necessary. But still, it is told that even though it is not possible to do Abhyangam to whole body, we may practice to do Abhyangam at least in Shirashravana Pada. It is told as Shirashravana Padeshu Tam Visheshena Shiliyat. It is very important that we should do Abhyangam Shirashravana Pada, as it is mentioned by the Acharyas. So, when we consider each part, when we consider Shravana Abhyangam, I mean, in the area of Karna, why it is mentioned is because Karna is a Vada Pradhana Avayava. As such, it is a Vada Pradhana Avayava with Agasha Mahabhuta Pradhana. So there, when we mention that it should Shravana Abhyanga is important, it did not mean that we should pour oil into the ears. Just apply in the outer canal, external auditory canal, outer part, just apply with the fingers. Just dip your little finger in the oil and apply that. That is enough to keep the Vada equilibrium in that area. That is mentioned. Then when we take the case of Padabhyanga, Padabhyanga as such, it is an important Netra Raksha Marga. I will be explaining later when we explain Padya Viharas pertaining to Netra. There is a reference in Ashtanga Hridaya where Sapada Puja is mentioned. That is, and the reason for explanation they have given is there are two nadis connected from Pada to Netra as it is mentioned. And like two nadis, Gandharva Hasta, Hraswajikva, like two nadis. I heard sometime before actually. These two nadis are connected. As such, we cannot find any nerve directly related to Netra. But still, we have seen effects in Netra when we do Padabhyanga. That is, in a case of photophthalmitis, when we were doing our PG. Photophthalmitis is a case where our ocular structures is inflammation of ocular structures happen due to exposure to the short wavelength UV radiations and all. So he was a welding worker, and he didn't use his protective glasses properly, and he got exposed to this UV radiations, and he suddenly started a severe redness of eyes, severe burning sensation, photophobia. There is intolerance to look at the light. Such difficulties were presented, and in such an acute stage, we started with Pitta Rekta Doshahara Chikilsas, wherein we used Sega with Netradhara, with Naligera Jala, and Lebanam, as I told, Vidalagam. Applying, we use usually Mukkadi Purambada, where more Pitta Rektahara drugs are mentioned. Cover the eyelids with the drugs of Mukkadi Purambada. And also Pada Abhyanga with Pinda Taila was performed. And it was just within 1 hour, within 1.5 hours, he was feeling far, far better. The burning sensation was reduced, photophobia was reduced considerably. So Padabhyangam itself has shown effect when we practice actually. And also we may prescribe Padabhyangam in case of Nidra Nasha and all. Then Shirabhyangam is the another term. Shirabhyangam as such, according to Sushruta, Sandarpanam Indriyanam Prasidanti, it is mentioned. But not only for Indriyas, as we know, the quote says, Uda Mulamadashagam Rishe Purusham Vidu. So, say as we water a plant at the root itself, but still it nourishes the whole other angas, flowers and all. Similarly, we do Abhyanga in Shiras, and its effect will be, you can see its effect, or it will help to strengthen not only our sense organs, but our whole body also. So that is the importance of Shirabhyangam. And we hope you know Shirabhyangam is one among the Murni Taila. Murni Tailas include 4 procedures: Shirabhyangam, Shiropiju, Shirosegam, Shirovasti. The 4 procedures pertaining to head region, Shiro region. So there, when we go to the Phalashruti of Murni Taila, Kacha Sadana Siddhatva Pinjaratvam Parifudanam Shirasaha Samira Rogan Jayedi Janedi Indriya Prasadam Swara Hanumurdhabalam Cha Murni Taila. It is the Phalashruti, wherein Shirasaha Vada Roga pertaining to Shiras. It helps to in Vada Roga as well as Indriya Prasada also. So that is about Abhyanga, which is to be done especially in these 3 areas. The next activity related to Indriya is Snanam, where it is Sarvendriya Vibodhanam. Again, nourishes or freshens the sense organs. And especially it is to be noted that Ushna Jala should not be used for head bath as it is Achakshushya. That is very important. Why? Because later in other Nidanas also will be telling the same point. Our Shiras is, as I told, Kapha Pradhana area. And you might be knowing the guna of Kapha dosha sthira. The Kapha dosha, it has a property of sthiryam or sthirada. So if we pour Ushna Jala into the head region, or we may take it as if we do pour in hot climate, if we do head bath in midday, that is pouring cold water in midday time. All these are interconnected. These all results in asthirada of the kapha present in the shirobhaga. Okay, the kapha vilayana will happen. The sthira property of kapha will be lost, which will result in kapha vilayana affecting the sense organs, resulting in abhishyanda like rogas or kleda pradhana rogas. And moving on to the next point is Sadvritta. So Dinacharya, as such, these are the references which we get from the different samhitas pertaining to the swasthya of the sense organs. Okay, in general, not specific. Next is Sadvrittam. A few 2 to 3 points in Sadvrittam, as I have mentioned earlier. Since in all the nidanas of the Karna Roga, Shiro Roga, everywhere, this exposure to Dhuma, Adaba, Raja has been mentioned. Using of Ushnisha Dharanam. Ushnisha Dharanam. I have given the picture also. So our head should be protected from Vada, Adaba and Raja. So Sadvritta. Just since I have just to mention, collects the topic for the syllabus point. That's all. And another point is Chatradharana. Same reason to get devoid of Varsha, Anila, Rajo, Hima, and all. Why? Because as I have mentioned earlier, again, when we go through the Nidanas in Shiro Roga, it is Dhuma, Tusharambu, Krida, Swapna Jagri. All these causes Shiro Roga. Where in case of Nasa Roga, the Nidana include Avashyayam, Anila Raja, Bhasha, Swapna Jagari. Such Atyambu, Pana, Ramana, Chardi, and all is mentioned. So all these Sadvrita help to protect our sense organs from the insults of dust, air from external environment, which I mentioned earlier, to protect from Agantuja factors. These are the ones which are possible for us to do. That's all. Next is walking. Morning walk is always good for health. Especially it helps in Indriya Bodhana. I think I'm not properly I have knowledge of this. There are certain pressure points in our plantar surface of legs also, which have connection with these Indriyas, maybe due to which it activates our sense organs. So these are the Sadvritam part. Okay. And along with this, it is important that along with our physical health, it is important to maintain our mental health as well. That is what we mention as Tharayetu Sada Vega, Hidaishi Prete Chehaja, Lobha Irsha Dvesha Malsarya Ragadinam Jidendriya. That is, we have two types of Vegas, Adharaniya as well as Dharaniya Vegas. Apart from Adharaniya Vegas, all the Mano Vegas, Mano Vikaras like Dvesha, Lobha, Krodha, we should be able to suppress it. So for example, we have direct indication of manovikaras with sense organs, diseases with sense organs. To quote an example, Drishtigata Roga, that is, netra, it is a netra roga where it affects the Drishti Mandala, the inner part, nervous part of the eye. There, it is mentioned as a Dhumara, is a disease, that a smoky vision is a disease caused by excess shoga. Also, when we take into modern aspect, there is a disease called central serous retinopathy, where we know in retina we have an area which gives a sharp vision called fovea. Okay, around that macula, around that area, there will be edema due to high stress. Then it is one of the cause for sudden loss of vision, even though it is curable. So there are certain references which show the connection of manovikaras with indriyas. And next point is Ridhucharya. So in Ridhucharya, when we go through the Padhya Viharas of Karna Roga, Nasa Roga, Netra Rogas and all, There we can see a point called Vidhivat Dosha Shodhana. Okay. Vidhivat Dosha Shodhana means it should be done in, it is mentioned in Swasthavata only, where for each Charyas, Ashtanga Hridayam, it is third chapter. Vidhucharya is in third chapter of Ashtanga Hridayam, Sutrasthana. Okay. So where for each kala or each season, each type of Shodhana karmas is given, considering the dosha pragopa during that stage. Okay, so in Hemanta Shishira, Ushnobhajara should be done. In Vasanta, Kapha Vilayana, Vamana should be done. In Grishma, Pitta Pradhana Samaya, Shidopajara. In Varsha, Asthabana Vasti, as there will be Vada Pradhana condition. In Sharat Rudu, Pitta Rekta, mostly Virejanam, Tikta Vidam, Rekta Moshna. So these are the Vidhiva Dosha Shodhanam, which they have meant. Why? Because actually a Shodhana which is helped to maintain our Koshta also, and a proper maintenance of Agni and Koshta is in need for the maintenance of Swasthya of the sense organs. The Koshta, Agni, everything is interconnected with our sense organs functioning also. So these were the general Adhya Viharas. Now we have a few references regarding Adhya Viharas. Okay, and these references I have taken from Bhaishyaja Ratnavali 61st chapter. I'll give the references later when we give the notes. So one point you should understand from here is, here the Padya Viharas are mentioned for Mukha Roga. Okay, that is in Roga Avastha, not in Swastha actually. We have reference only for Roga Avastha in our texts. Vishesha Viharas, Vishesha Padya, specific Padya Viharas, only for Rogas they have mentioned in Samhita or in Bhaishya Ratnavali actually. So there we have, we can get references like Svedanam, Virejanam, Vamanam, Gandusham, Pradisarnam, Kavalam, Shruti, Nasim, Dhumam, Shastragni Karmam. So point to be noted is all these should be used according to the dosha pradhani avastha of the condition. Okay, in general, mukha rogas or the mukha sthanas kapha rekta anubandha, kapha pradhana rekta anubandha sthana mukha. So mostly there will be kapha pradhana rekta pradhana vyadis. So according to dosha avastha, in case of vada kapha pradhana, we can use Svedanam. Virejanam in kapha pitta pradhana avastha. Okay, and again Vamanam in kapha pradhana vyadhis, which will later we will go through while discussing the chikitsa and all. Gandusham, Pradisarna means rubbing with certain powders to cleanse the danda moola and all. Kavala prayogam, rekta mokshanam, which you use danda moolaka rogas, nasyam. So here one point you should understand is Virejanam help in Koshta Shodhana only as such. Virejana help only in Koshta Shodhana. So apart from Virejana, we should do the Sthanika procedures also. When we consider all the rogas pertaining to these organs, the most important part is along with Koshta Shodhana, Sthanika Chikitsa should be done. That is why we have added Nasyam, Kavalam and all. Okay, after Koshta Shodhana, to cleanse or to have a Shodhana in all these organs, we usually prefer Nasyam, Vamanam, Gandosham and all. And again, why Shastragni Karma is considered is because there are more involvement of Mamsa Dhatu in Mukha Rogas. That is why Shastragni Karma is also mentioned here. While taking the Padya Viharas of Karna Rogas also, similar procedures we can see. Virejanam, Vamanam, Nasyam, Dhumam, Siravyatam. All these are again according to the conditions. Karna Roga Pradhan. Brahmacharya, why? Because Adi Maithuna may cause Vada Dhatu Kshaya. In such conditions, it should be avoided. And again, abhashana, that we should not talk. Why? Because it is mentioned mainly in the acute stages, like Karna Roga. In acute condition, we have both acute as well as chronic, right? Chronic conditions, for example, is sensorineural hearing loss. That type of hearing losses are chronic, maybe chronic. Whereas conditions like acute middle ear infection or otomycosis, there is fungal infection in the ear, external auditory canal, otitis externa, infection in the external auditory canal. These all are acute stages. In such stages, what happens? We will be having severe pain in the ear. And when we just hold the pinna itself, we have that pain. So along with that, if you try to talk also, to the movement of the temporomandibular joint, again this pin and all will move, which again increases the pain. That is why. Then Padya Vihara told in Shiro. All these references is from Bhaishya Ratnavali. Okay. Nasyam. In case of, according to Doshavastha, Nasyam can be done. Dhumapanam, Virejanam, Lebam. Lebam here means Shiro Lebam. As I mentioned earlier, in case of sinus type of pain, we can do Lebanam in those sinus areas like Rasnadi or Pachuradi. Shirshavasti, Murdhavasti mainly Vada Pradhana Rogas, which is one among the Murni Taila Prayoga. Rekta Shrudin Pitta Pradhana. Usually in Shalak, this is for Shalaki Rekta Mokshan Sila done in Lalada, Ubanas, and Abanga. Then Vahni Karma. Vahni Karma usually we use in severe headache, which is unbearable, usually to act as counter irritation. Sudden relief have been obtained. I have seen only like that. Then Ubanaha means tying with medication. We can use it in Lalada Pradesha. So these are the Padya Viharas in Shiro Roga. You note that it is in Shiro Roga as such. Then Padya Viharas in Nasa Roga, that is Sthiti Nirvada Nilaye. That is, you should remain in a room without much wind and all. Pragad Ushnisha Dharana, which I have shown earlier. Gandosham, in condition of Kapha and all. Kleda Pradhanya Nasa Rogas. Lankhanam in Kapha Amavastha Ama Pradishyayam and all. Lankhanam might help. Nasyam, severe Kapha Avastha. Dhumabanam, Chardi, Vamana, that is Vamana. Siravyatha, Pitta Pradhana Rogas. According to Doshavastha, you can explain these diseases, these chikitsa. And next is Padya Viharas as according to for Netra Rogas. There, the shlokas in Timra Pradishedadhyayam, I think Sutras, Uttarasthanam, Ashtangadhyayam, Uttarasthanam, 13th chapter. It is given as Tribhala Rudra Shruti Manaso Nivritti Anjanam Sanasyam Sapada Puja Shaguna Shagda Sadaiva Netra Reksha. For a Netra Reksha, one should pertain to Tribhala Sevana, which will be explained later, Tribhala Prayoga, Yudhashruti or Rekta Mokshana. Why Rekta Mokshana? Because the Netra is always prone to have more predominant of Kapha Pitta Rekta Doshas. Rekta Doshas. As we know, Kapha Pitta Dushti will in turn lead to Rekta Dushti. It's a reference given in Siravyatha Vidhi in Ashtangradhyam Sutrasthana. Kapha Pitta Dushti in turn causes Rekta Dushti. And most of the Nidanas, when we assess, most of the Rekta Dushti Nidanas are similar, have action Netra, causing Netra Rogas also. So Rudra Shruti, Manaso Nivritti. I mentioned earlier regarding the Shoga causing Netra Roga. Then Shodhanam, Vidhivat Dosha Shodhanam, already been mentioned. Anjanam, using Kularium. Nasyam, you may take even as Pradimarsha Nasyam. Pada Puja, which was mentioned earlier itself. So these are the Padya Viharas pertaining to Netra. Along with that, there are certain Aharas also which will be mentioned later. So Sapada Puja, not only Pada Leba, Pada Piju, Padatra Dharanam, Pada Abhyangam, Pada Prakshalam, all can be done in case of Pada, come under Pada Puja. So this is what I told. Dve Pada Madhya Padu Sanniveshe, Shire Gadete Bahudacha Netre. Two siras are connected to eyes. So whatever medicament we use in Pada penetrate to the eyes. This is a reference from Ashtanga Hridaya. Now moving on to, so we have completed the Padya Viharas of each organs. Now moving on to the Abadhi Viharas. So in general, all the Nidanas of Karna, Shira, all these be taken as Abadhi Viharas. Okay, we have specific Nidanas in Ashtanga Hridaya itself. Specific Nidanas have been mentioned in each chapters. Give the references. So all those can be mentioned in Abadhi Viharas. Now, few to quote, this is from Shushruta Samhita as well as Ashtanga Hridaya. Ahida Ashana is considered one among the Abadhi Vihara. Ahida Ashana, we may take it as Bhuktasya Ubari Bhojana, more food, without considering Agni, if you are taking more amount of food, or Nida Ashana, little amount of food without considering the Agni. All these come under Ahida Ashana, untimely food, not taking food after digestion of previous food, like that. Then Bhaswara Darshana means usually we know solar eclipse and all we cannot view with our naked eyes. or we should not look at the sun with naked eyes. All these come under Bhaswara Darshanam, as our eyes cannot tolerate such a threshold or such a wavelength of radiation. Then Chala Sukshma Vikshanam means Sukshma Vikshanam means Sukshma Vikshanam, reading, trying to read small letters and all with a lot of strain when we try to read small letters. That all we can take it as Sukshma Vikshana. For example, for a Sukshma Vikshana or to view a near object, we have our intraocular muscles inside the eyes, and we know we have a lens inside our eyes. So this lens should become more concave to help for Sukshma Vikshana. Okay, and the lens shape changes to more convexity so that the rays from the nearby object properly falls on the macular area for a sharp vision. So here it is helped by the ciliary muscles. The ciliary muscles help for this shape change of the lens. And if the adyoga of these muscles may result in ciliary spasm, eye strain, and which again causes netra roga. Usually in conditions of presbyopia and all, it is what happened. The elasticity of lens is lost and resulting in eye strain. That is what we mean by Sukshma Vikshana. Durekshana again, viewing for long time, distant object again causes strain to our extraocular muscles, the muscles around our eyes or our lids, and superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, lateral rectus, superior inferior oblique. These are the 6 extraocular muscles which help in Durekshana. Okay. These all, if adiyoga of these can cause eye strain and intense refractive errors. So these all are abadya viharas. Then Vega Rotham, I have highlighted because in all abadya viharas of all other structures, Vega Rotham is there. So I will be detailing all together in another slide. Then Divaswapnam, Kabadushti, Ratri Jagaranam, Vadavrithi, Ushnabhidapta Jalapravesham, as I mentioned earlier, taking cold water head bath in midday time. It causes vasodilation, which is explained modern part, but still it is the Kabha Asthirata resulting in Abhishyanta of Netra. And also we usually see cricket players in center of the ground. Usually we see in that hot climate, they use the cold water to, pour over their head. All these can be correlated to this condition itself. Then Sweda Adaba Rajodhuma Nishayana, dust and all causes Vada Pitta Prakopa. Abadya Viharas of Karna Roga, again Vega Rotham, which will be mentioned later. Then they have mentioned Danda Kashtam, Shirasnanam, Vyayamam. Danda Kashtam means Danda Dhavana, Shirasnanam, head bath, Vyayamam, exercises. Kanduyanam means putting, itching. If we feel itching in the ear and we put something buds or some other things that should not be done. Prajalpana means excessive talking. Now all these are Abadya Vihara only if he is having Karna Roga. That is to be understood, because as a person to be Swastha, Danda Dhavana is important. But if he is having Karna Roga, he should not do. Again, there itself we should use our yukti to divide it, because it is not mentioned in a chronic stage. As I mentioned, for a hearing loss patient, we need not tell that you should not brush your teeth, you should not take head bath, and all, because it is not logic. It is mentioned only in acute stages, when there is severe earache with severe infection or severe ear blockage, sudden ear blockage, or something like that. In such conditions, then the dhavana will be difficult actually, because persons won't be able to open his mouth itself. It may cause pain. There is a term called tragus sign, where we usually hold the tragus in an area. The patient will feel pain. It is seen in fungal infection. It is external and fungal infection and all. So there, then the dhavana is not possible. Shirasnana, usually patient with middle infection, we usually tell not to do Shirasnana to avoid excess formation of kleda. And Prajalpanam also excessive talking again causes or increase the intensity of the pain. Moving on to the Vihara, Abadya Vihara Mukha Roga, again Danda Dhavana, it won't be possible. With severe Asya Pagam, or we are not able to keep the brush itself with severe pain. There and all, we can opt the method of doing Gandusha with medicated drugs, with Ranarobana drugs, even with Madhudaka, honey mixed with water. All these can be used as Gandusha instead of Dandadhavana. Then Adho Mukhena Shayana, should not lie in prone position, they have mentioned. May it causes Shodorotha and all. Divanidram Vivarji, as Divanidram causes Kapha Adhikyam. So it should be avoided. Abadhi viharas in case of Nasa Roga, again Divaswapnam, there will be Kapha Vittavriddhi. Snanam, Kledavriddhi, Krodam, Vittavriddhi. Vegarodha I will mention later. Humishaya. Humishaya means lying on the floor. All these are which may cause Vada Pravoga. All these are contraindicated in Nasa Roga. Again in Shirorogam, Anjanam. Here Anjanam mainly Tikshna Anjana Prayoga is mentioned. Dandakashtam, Dandadhara. If he is having severe pain, like Ardhava Bhedagam and all, there of course small amount of movement also will cause severe pain. Intensity may increase. Diva Nidram should not be done in Shiroroga. So these are all references from Bhaishya Ratnavali. Now why I kept the Vegarodha last is because in all the Karnanas, in all Nidanas, Vegarodha is important. Why? Because we have a lot of references in Vegarodha compared to sense organs. First one is Adhovada. Adhovada, flatus. Adhovadasya rodina gulmodavarta duklamaha. There Drishti Agnivadam is told. Drishti Agnivadam means it is not good for Drishti, not good for Agni. Okay. Why? Because Agni is important for proper maintenance of sense organs, as I told earlier. Another reference is Shagrad Vegarodha causes Pradishyayam Shiroyuk, which is practically we can see also. Usually in a case of severe headache. It was a case of severe headache. And when we take the history, when we took the history, she was having severe constipation. That is Abana Vaigunyam, Abana Vilomana, Abana Vayu Vilomana is hampered. And this Abana Vayu undergo Pradiloma Gati and causing Sthana Samshrayam Shirobhaga. So here we have to understand the process going inside the body. Why the Pradiloma Vayu resulted in Shiroroga, not in Gulma or abdominal pain. This is because for a Nidana or for a dosha undergoing Dushti, to get Adhishtidam in a certain area, that area should be also less immune or should be weak. For example, this Pradiloma Vayu went and caused Shiroruk. Why? Because the lady was taking bath during midday time. This was the case we had in our OP with presenting with Shiroruk. She every day she take head bath in midday time. Of course, the integrity of the tissues in that area will be lost. And at that time, she also had the problem of constipation. So this Pradiloma Vayu went and got Adhishtita or Sthana Samshayan Shiras causing Shiroruk. It didn't cause Pradishyayam. If Pradishyayam, again, there will be another Nidanas pertaining to Nasa Roga, Nidana Seva. Nidana Seva pertaining to causing Nasa Roga. Then it was Pradishyayam. That's all. So here the major treatment which we gave was only Virejana actually. For Shiroruk, a Virejana was given with Gandharva. She was okay. So that much importance we have when we assess the Vegarodha. So proper history taking is very important when we see the sense organs also, mainly regarding the Koshta. You should consider the Koshta and Shodhana Karmanda. Then Kshavadu Vegarodha. Again, it can cause Shiroyuk and Indriya Daurbalyam due to Shrodorodha occurring in this condition. Trishna Vegarodha, Vadadikyam causes Badhityam. In long term, Bashparodham, it may result in Peenasam, Akshi Shiroruk. Bashpa means crying actually. Nidra Vegarodha causes Akshi Gaurav. Everybody knows. So, that is about Vegarodha. So, when we go through all these points, at some point of time, we will feel that why does all these causes diseases always nothing? No, right? We are not, even though we are not undergoing any dinacharya activities, still we are healthy, right? So these all affecting long term only, because when we are healthy, these won't show any diseases. So when we are less immune only, these all will occur. So these are the Apadhya and Padhya Viharas. Now moving on to the Padhya Ahara Prayogas. Padhya Padhya Aharas. So what is Padhya Padhya? Padhyam Padho Anabedam Yadyachoktam Anasapayam Yachaprimapathyam Cha Niyadam Tandalakshi. So a padhya dravya or padhyahara, it should be conducive to the shrodas as well as to manas. As we know, to be swastha, we should have a prasanna indriya, prasanna mana, and sama agni. All these can be obtained with the help of padhyahara. But this padhyahara may become abadhya also if we have it without considering our agni bala. That is very important, because as I told earlier, the agni, if only agni is proper, we will able to digest padhyahara also. Otherwise, it becomes abadhya only. Why I am giving such stress in agni is because when we take the samprapti of netra roga in this told in Ashtanga Hridayam Uttarasthana 8th chapter, while explaining the Vatma Roga Vijnaniya, the first shloka is Sarva Roga Nidanuktir Ahide Kubidamala Achakshushya Visheshena Paraya Vittanusarina Sirabhirurdam Netraveva Masudha. That is the dosha dushti occurring in koshta will in turn affect the sense organs. And even I would like to quote an example. In a condition, there is a disease called amloshidam. Okay, it is a sarvakshida in netra, amloshidam, where it is mentioned as annasaro amladam nidaha itta rektolbanair mali sirabir netra maruda karodi shyavalovidam sashofada. It goes like that. There it is called as when our ahara we take, it undergo amla vibhaga. If not properly digested, if it undergo amla bhaga, this amlada causes pitta rekta dushti and it affects the netra. Why it is affecting the netra, not only the costas, because at that point of time, the person might have been exposed to nidanas, causing less immunity to the ocular surface. Okay, so in such a condition, he presents a disease called amloshidam, where redness of eyes, there will be severe burning sensation, there will be edema, blood vision and all. So here, the koshta and agni is directly causing the disease in the netra. So only a proper jadaragni can help in maintenance of proper dhatu agni, which is important for swasthya rakshana. So that is why padhyahara is important. So these are the direct references we get from Ashtanga Hridaya. The aharas usually mentioned sarpi. Sarpi is directly chakshushim property. Jangala mamsam. It won't cause kaphavritti, that is why. Then draksha is uttama phala. It has also direct indication, direct indication of chakshushim. Mamsarasam, madhu. These all can be taken only by swastha again, not adura. Because mamsarasa and all cannot be taken by adura because sometimes this agni may be hampered. Then shagunashana, that is specially mentioned as netra raksha because the mams of birds is mentioned to be good for vision. Then there are certain mudga. Mudga means green gram, which is Meda Shleshma Rekta Pitta Jeshu Hidam. It is Rekta Pitta Hara. Then Panjashaga, which will be mentioned later. Karavelam. Karavelam is bitter gourd. Actually, Karavelam, again, it is Kabhajit, Kabhaharam. Vartaga, type of brinjal variety, which is Kaphavadahara. Peya Vilebi. All these are Lakhu Bhojanam. Vilebi and all is direct indication to Akshiroga actually. It is Malanuloma. So proper Malakriyas and all will help in Swasthya Rakshana. Then Navamulaka, that is tender radish. It is considered to have Tridoshahara property. It is Lakhu, Ushnam, Avyaktarasam. It is Navamulaka. Tender radish is to be taken. Then Godhumam. The Bala Prayogam should be told later. Dadima Suttama Phala in Chakshurogas. Shashtigashali. It is Shashtigashali is best among the Vrihi Varga, Dhanya Vargas. Saindhavam, best among the Lavana Varga. All these are Chakshushim. And Kwadita Shidala Jala. Usually it is told as rainwater is best, but we cannot use rainwater nowadays, right? Whereas Kwadita Shidala Jala, there is boiled and cooled water. It is Anabhishyanti, Lakhu, Chatoy, can be used by Swastha. And these are the Dhanya Vargas. I have just classified Dhanyam, Kridanya Vargam, Phalam. All these are Chakshushim. The Swastuga, Mekhanada, Punarnava, Pattura, Jivanti. These four are actually leafy vegetables, leaves to be used, like spinach-like varieties. And it is mentioned as all Shaga are Achakshushim. Apart from these five, it is from Yoga Ratnagara, reference is given. These 5 is considered to be best for eyes. Now to give some few examples regarding Tribhala Prayoga. Why? Because it is considered to be the best Chakshushya or best Netra Rakshopaya. So we know Tribhala consists of Haritaki, Vikitiki and Amalaki. So when we go through the Rasa Panchakas, it is Tridosha Hara. And having Tribhala Rasayana also, proper usage of Tribhala with the Hrida and Honey is considered to be Chakshushya. That yoga is very important. It is only if it is mixed Hrida and Madhu, it is Agriya for Netra. We will get Saubarnam Levade Chakshu. That is eyesight similar to eagle. We know the sharp vision of eagle. With its sharp vision, it can see its prey at a very distance itself. Then role of Sthanyam. These are few references from scattered in different areas. Sthanyam used as Astrodhanam in Rekta Pitta Pradhana Roga, not Kapha Pradhana Netra Roga, Rekta Pitta Pradhana Netra Roga. Then few Padyaharas mentioned in Mukha Rogas, Yava, Mudga, Kulatham, Jangala Rasam, Karavelam, Padolam, Balamulgam, all these the dosha I have mentioned earlier. Mainly Kadu Tikta Rasa Varga should be used for Mukha Roga. That is to be mentioned Kadu Tikta Rasa. As we know, it is Kapha Pradhana Rektanubandha Sthanam. Whereas in case of Nasa Roga, it should be Kadu, Amla, Lavana, Snigdha, Ushna Prayogas. Nasa, it is mainly Kapha, Pitta, Rekta involvement. Nasa Roga, Kapha, Pitta, Dosha, Rekta involvement is mainly C. Okay. So their usage of Kadu, Amla, Lavana, Snigdha, Ushna Prayogas is taken to be Padhya. Here Dadi is mentioned. Why? Because Dadi is used to make Ama Pradishyayam to Pakva Pradishyayam followed by Shodhana treatment. For Shodhana Chikitsa, we should make Amavastha to Pakvavastha. That is why Dadi is being mentioned. All other Vartagam are already mentioned the dosha. Shigru is Kapha Vadahara. Then Padyahara for Karna Roga. These all are the drugs. All are almost similar to drugs have been mentioned everywhere. Ahara for Shiroroga. So moving to the Abadhya Aharas. As per Netra Abadhya, it is mentioned as Vidahi Vishtambagara Aharas should be avoided as it causes Rekta Dushti, which in turn causes Netra Rogas. And Netra Abadhyas itself is causing Abhishyamdi. As no Abhishyamdam is Rekta Pradhana Avastha, which will in turn cause Shodho Rodha in Netra, Pitta Dushti. Similar is the case of Abadhya Aharas in Shiras and Abadhya Aharas in Nasa, where Viruddha Aharas is a common one mentioned. Okay. Viruddha Ahara, why? Because the Viruddha Ahara Prayoga is similar to Vishobhama, which causes Thadu Kshaya, Thadu Nasha, and in turn Indriya Nasha. And this Jala from Sakhi and Vindhya mountains, we have a direct reference that it causes Shiroroga. In Sutrasthanam, Ashtanga 5th chapter, there is a direct reference. And Abhishyandi Guru Ahara should not be taken in Nasa Roga. Why? Because it increases more Kleda and it causes more Nasa Shravana, Nasa blockage. Similarly, in case of Mukha Roga and Karna Roga, there also Viruddha Annapanam is mentioned Karna Roga and Mukha Roga, Abhishyanda Guru, Dadi, Kuda, Shira should be avoided because more prone to Kapha Rekta Pradhana diseases. Just to complete the topic, the Deva Vyabhasha Chikitsa I just added because usually chanting of Chakshu Shobhanishad and Gayatri Mantram is mentioned. Netra Rogas help to protect eyes. So moving into conclusion, when we mention Swastha Vritta, we should assess Swastha Vritta and should do the routine activities based on our Prakriti, Bala, Agni, Koshta and all. That is very important. And we know why it is important. Prevention is better than cure. Why? Because when we consider mostly Netra Rogas, most of the diseases are Asadhya. Most of these are Asadhya or Yapya or Krishna Sadhya compared to the percentage of Sadhya Rogas. So there, in Yapya Rogas, the most important part is we should do Netra Raksha Pathya Kramas to maintain the disease. For example, in case of cataract, immature cataract, we know that it is not completely resolved completely without surgery. it is considered to be kaja, taken as kaja in Dishtikada Roga, where there we should do Tikshna Anjana Prayoga in Dinacharya basis. That is important. So that prevention it is a type of prevention to arrest further progression of the disease. So as the quote says, Chakshurakshayam sarvakalam manushiyatnaha kartavyo jivite yavadicha vyartho logoayam tulyam ratri divanam pumsan nandana vidyamani api. That is, all efforts should be made. Here it is Chakshu, just for example, for Chakshuraksha, which is one among the Pradhan Indriyas, among the others. So because for a person who is blind, both day and night will be the same, that is darkness. So we have a lot of disease, especially in netra, like retinitis pigmentosa, macular degeneration. All we know, once the retina is degenerated, we cannot regenerate it back. So in such conditions, we should undergo timely interventions and timely treatments where these Pradimarshanasya, Anjana and all can be made use of to arrest further progression. That is what we understand with this. So I have taken the references from Ashtanga Hridayam, Ashtanga Sangraha, Sushruta Samdhin Bhaishya Ratnavali, Yoga Ratnakara. So before concluding, few helpful tips for present lifestyle. Some of them is eye exercises, which can be done in the case of refractive errors, eye strain, dry eye, lazy eye, and those who are IT professionals and all. There are certain eye exercises like near and far focus, and playing with the ball, which bouncing ball we just throw from one hand to other hand in a U-shaped manner and view that one. And you can rotate our eyes up without moving our head, rotate our eyes, move our eyes up and down, which help in the extraocular muscles, stimulate the extraocular muscles, right and left, diagonally. All these movements is possible, will help to maintain our health of the eyes. Read in good illumination. Blink always. 10 to 12. You should actually blink 10 to 12 times at least once in a minute. Otherwise, usually the main cause of dry eye is one is we see in IT professionals is dry eye or computer vision syndrome where they usually forget to blink. Kavala Gandusha is recommended to daily use of Pradimarshanasya daily, steam inhalation, breathing exercises. Do Anjana once in a week, Padabhyangam and Shirabhyangam at least once a week. These are all the small tips we can do present situation actually. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sridevi. Yes, if any doubts, you can ask directly, okay? In these sessions, we allow to unmute and ask directly to Dr. Sridevi. Before that, a question already there is use of Anudaila as Nasya daily. Is it possible for all Prakriti people?
That is what I told. If they are having, if it is in Pitta Pradhana and all, usually sometimes it will be best to use Ksheerabala. Anutailam is in general Tridoshaharam, but if it is she is having severe Pitta Prakriti or for some severe irritation and all, they might not be able to use Anutailam as Pradimarsha. And also we should take care of the structural deformities. Those who are having conditions like DNS and all, again, they should initially do some other treatments like NASA, Piju application and all. Only after that, Pradimarshanasya can be done.
Hello, madam.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Madam, myself, Dr. Prashant, madam. So I have one query about the Nidana, which is mentioned in our Samhitas, like Ati Sukshma Nirekshanat. So in modern text, in modern ophthalmology books, so they mentioned that in childhood days or in like there is no truth in that folklore that they mentioned by seeing a close object that will cause a myopia. So they rejected that concept. So how to justify that statement like Ati Sukshma Nirekshanat will cause the eye diseases?
That I mentioned. Adi Sukshma Nirekshan doesn't cause myopia. Actually, I didn't tell like that. Adi Sukshma Nirekshan means mainly focusing in near small objects. So there we use the property, or we use the action of ciliary muscles. They are the intraocular muscles. We have two intraocular muscles, pupil dilation and pupil sphincter muscles. So when we need to see a near object, our pupil should constrict more and our lens become more curved or convex. Okay, this is because only then we can get the rays correctly focused in the retina. So there, do Sukshma Nirikshana for a long time, it may cause kshina of the ciliary muscles. Okay. So may cause blurred vision for a few seconds like that. That's all. That's what I mentioned. And I just mentioned the example of presbyopia only. That is an old age actually, about 30, 45 years of age. Those people have difficult reading letters and all. That is presbyopia.
Oh, means like continuous working for near objects, looking near objects, that will not going to cause myopia, right? No?
Myopia. Actually, what myopia is, it is a structural deformity actually. Myopia is a condition where the image is formed in front of the retina. It falls in front of retina. So usually one of the main reason is the length of anterior posterior diameter of eyeball will be more. So there will be certain structural differences in such conditions.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Atri, you asked one question, but I can't understand it. What is?
It's in the chat box. Is it in the chat box?
Yeah.
Ma'am, please.
Okay. Please tell dosha of Nasa Karnan Shirasthana. Is that one? Okay. Karna is Vada Pradhana Sthana. Okay. Vada Pradhana Avayava in Kabasthana. Are you hearing? I am Dr. Atri, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shiras as such is Kabba Pradhana Sthana, and the Karna is a Vada Pradhana Avayava in Kabba Sthana or in the Shiras. Nasa, there the dosha will be Kabha, Rekta and Pitta. Shleshmam, Udiram, Pitta. These are the doshas in Grana Mula. It is given in Charaga Chikitsa actually. Hope you got it.
Okay, ma'am. One question I can ask is the use of Nasya for hair fall. Is there any relevant experiences regarding the Nasya Prayoga for hair fall?
Actually, I have no, I don't have such experience. I usually I've seen using Pradimarshan Asya. No, I have not done personally.
Okay, thank you. Yes, anyone can ask directly to Dr. Sridevi regarding these topics. So, Dr. Sridevi and Dr. Ashwin will be joining for the Shalakya classes. Both faculties are from Ashtangam Ayurveda College. So, this is the introductory session of the Shalakya classes. So, if you are interested, you can join in this course of 6 months. This class will be ending by by October. We have 25 classes. We are totally planning, and regarding the research aspects also. So I put a WhatsApp group link here. Okay, you can also join them for getting the updates. Okay, if there is if no question, we can wind up. Okay, and thank you, Dr. Sridevi, for your presentation. It's a nice both you touch the theoretical aspect as well as the practical aspects. So thank you very much, and thank you for all the participants also. Thank you.
Thank you.